Hey, what's up guys? It's Yeti here. In today's video, I want to discuss the newest World of Warcraft patch, Pandaria Remix, and I've been playing it a lot, and I had some thoughts on it. I wanted to make a video and comment on everything that went on in this game mode and what I got from it. The first point of discussion is going to be the quality of life improvements they brought out in Pandaria Remix, and it's not really talked about often. And that's why I want to put as much emphasis on this as possible. So the first quality of life improvement is the infinitely scaling cloak. This is not the kind of thing, item, or system we've ever had in WoW. You could compare it to the neck in BFA, but I think it's a little bit different because this one gives you infinite scaling main stats, leech, speed, stamina, etc. And I think it's something that is really interesting and just makes you feel really strong, like your character. And also it's changing visually, which is just an incredible part. This is also something that has obviously not happened in WoW before, and I just think the concept is really cool, and I do want to see something like this in the future. The second quality of life improvement that is within Remix is repair costs not being existent. So the other day we were doing one of those raids on a heroic difficulty, and we were wiping consistently, but we didn't care. We would just press release and we would just zug the boss and keep pulling. And it really made me realize how having no repair costs, makes that consistent pulling kind of gameplay not feel as punishing. We were also lucky enough that for that specific boss, the respawn point was very near, the checkpoint was very near, so we just kind of speed ran through and just kept pulling, and it was not a feeling I've had on retail for a while, because whenever you wipe, you have to reapply food, you have to get up mana for your healers, sometimes healers have to pre-ramp, they have to get up their mana T, stack glimmers, and things like that, so this was a really, really nice feeling. Another thing that has not been talked about are the bandages. I really miss the bandages as somebody who plays a lot of Hunter in World of Warcraft. That is my main class. Being able to self-heal with the bandages is just such a great feeling. And because they are consistently dropping in this world, I'm playing a Warlock in Remix, I have been bandaging it all the time. Like, you are able to move and bandage at the same time. And, I have hundreds of them, and it's a feeling I really do miss. Because in World of Warcraft, back in the days, we had first aid. It's still a thing on Classic right now, and it's a really nice source of having some self-healing. The next part is going to be the rest of consumables, so potions, scrolls for buffs, which are not limiting your raid composition, and the mana pots, health pots, all of this just dropping from the world. Us not having access to Auction House made using these kind of buffs, to me personally, it made more sense. I would pop these buffs even in open world because I would have them all the time, and it really made me want to have all the buffs active, because I did not feel like I am messing up if I die with a buff up, because I will get another one dropping. So it's a really nice feeling that kind of gives me like a modern MMO vibe that I would definitely want to introduce in like a future WoW patch. The final thing I want to talk about is actually a Dragonflight feature, and that is dragon riding. Dragon riding is incredible. I'm so glad it is in this game mode and in the entire World of Warcraft world right now. It's the way you are going around the world, you are actively engaged. You're not just auto-running, going AFK. It is very, very fast. And I just think it's really something that we needed in WoW. And I'm so happy that they've already ported it over to all the previous expansions. And it's probably one of the best features we've actually gotten in a while. All right, so my main point number 2 is going to be fast leveling. So in the past, pre-patches in World of Warcraft would often have these kind of fast ways to level, these really overpowered events, but those would often not last for that long. Sometimes these events, these fast leveling methods, I believe there was one in Legion that I remember specifically, they would be active for a couple of weeks. They would also give you like an armor set of some sort, but they were tied to that pre-patch specifically. So you had to get up all of your characters in that time. You had to spam that boring kind of type of content to get your character up. You wouldn't really get to try to play around with it because, you were just like, okay, let's go play another character. I've already done all the raids. In Pandaria Remix, though, they've created this 3-month-long event, which is insanely good for leveling. You can get to level 70, I think, in 4 hours. It's just really insanely fast because you have the infinitely scaling cloak with the XP boost on it. And, your character is also playing with the up-to-date talents, up-to-date rotations, so you can actually try the class in these easier versions of Raid. The only mixed feeling I have about this, though, is when will Time Runners get to actually enter Dragonflight? Will these characters be able to try out any of the Season 4 of Dragonflight? You know, the meme season we have right now? I think it would be really nice to allow those characters to try Season 4 for the last couple of weeks, but we don't know yet what the plan is. We just know that the Time Runners are exiting their time running thingy. I think it is on 19th of August or around there somewhere. Now, I don't know if the pre-patch is coming instantly or not. You know, that is obviously up to Blizzard, but I do think it would be nice for me personally to get a chance to try raiding retail with my Remix Warlock. So point number 3 is going to be cheesing/froggers. I think the frogging method was the most popular one. That's definitely a problem. This event had issues with some methods of obtaining power or obtaining bronze that was really broken. And I think it did give the community some sort of negative perception at start in the first couple of days. However, I think right now it got in a much better state and they have buffed those, I think, fun and engaging methods of getting your stats and bronze up to the point where everybody can kind of just play the game now, enjoy it, and still get the bronze. Number 4 is going to be nostalgia. So World of Warcraft Pandaria actually came out 12 years ago. I remember playing it back when I was in high school. I just started high school. And I did play all of these events and these raids and these dungeons. Obviously not as much as I can in Remix, and I did not get as far as I did in Remix, but it really, to me personally, it gave that really good feeling of nostalgia, because back in the days, some quests, I remember specifically that I hated them, like for example, the quest where you go into, are they called SI7? The spy mission, and I did it now that I'm, like 12 years older, I'm much older than I was back then. I really liked that mission. I did not mind it at all. It didn't take long at all. It was kind of funny. And, having that kind of nostalgic replay of those past quests and quest lines has been really good for me, because this is the first expansion that I really did play a lot back in the days. Because, for example, Cataclysm in TBC, I was too young to actually engage in the end game content, while in Pandaria I was already trying to do that. Another point that I would like to connect with nostalgia is just how stunning, both visually and audio-wise and questline and story, Pandaria is. I mean, this is an expansion from 2012, and I think right now when I'm playing Pandaria, I forget that this is visually an older expansion. It really just looks stunning. Everything is beautiful. It's smooth. The quest lines are good. The voice lines are good. Quests are in depth. It's all really, really sick. And also because, these have the dailies, the first version of the dailies that we were used to as World of Warcraft players for a very long time. It's like, this feels just like home. You forget that you're actually playing an older version of the game. So I think Pandaria really aged super nicely. Point number 5 is going to be scenarios and 10-man raids. Now, 3-man and 10-man content is not present in modern World of Warcraft. And I think that playing these kind of, group activities made me realize how much I miss content that is just not, 5 or 20-man. So Mythic Plus and Mythic raiding, that is what I spend 95% of my World of Warcraft time on. And seriously, these things are great. 3-man scenarios are just, pure memes, storyline related stuff. And 10-man raids are raids, but a lot less chaotic, where you actually get to, everyone has to do mechanics and participate in a way. While, in Mythic, sometimes you feel like, there's not much going on. I'm kind of an NPC on this boss fight. Also, having 10 players, having 10 friends join you is a lot easier than having to get a full Mythic roster together for a Mythic raiding guild is pretty much almost impossible with friends. So you have to apply to like a serious guild or something like that. Also, when it comes to raiding, specifically for Remix, I really love that they put the raids on a daily remix, because to me personally, that is the part that really feels on crack. Being able to do Throne of Thunder every single day is just sick, right? I mean, yeah, we are blasting through it because we are overpowered, but just the fact that it resets every single day gives me an unlimited amount of things to do every single day. Number 6, balancing. I personally did not have an issue with one-shotting. And I also don't have an issue with some players being, stronger than me. However, I do think that Froggers and the goat farm, etc. All of these methods did make those players specifically too strong. Blizzard did revert, the cloaks up to, I think it was 2,500 or something like that to their stats, but that didn't matter because it was the item level that mattered. It is the item level that makes them strong, because I do believe that this way scaling works is that every time you buy an additional level, you get much more stats than from the last one. I think it's called exponential growth. And this kind of system does not really allow, rollback of the cloak to matter, because the gear is already so much stronger than ours right now. But, everybody can spend bronze and get up there in time. And I think more and more non-froggers are starting to become really, really strong. Now, on the other hand, I do not really care about, one-shotting bosses with ward and etc. I do think it maybe even helped us in the early days when we were not that strong to kind of use that cheese strat. And now, right now, because they just nerfed ward, we can actually go and play the bosses normally, and they are still dying fast because everybody is pretty strong. And I think that's good. I think that feels natural for this kind of event with daily resets. I do also think Blizzard has done a really good job balancing the game. I do think that balancing has been very fast, but maybe doing some sort of beta, open beta, public beta would be even better to preemptively solve these problems. But then again, you don't want to, ruin or spoil the event. Maybe people would be down to participate and sign an NDA. I'm not sure. I'm not a game dev, but Blizzard, think about that maybe. Number 7, my future wishes and what I want Blizzard to do with this kind of event. So I've mentioned a lot of things already throughout the video, but to me personally, I am most looking forward to having Warlords of Draenor remix, because that expansion was an absolute banger. I really did play a lot. I did not raid that much, but I was doing all kinds of different activities. I did some PvP, was doing a lot of LFR, and I was doing a massive amount of gold farming back in WoD because it was just super overpowered. However, this time I would like to focus on raiding. I would like to focus on dungeons, and I do think that the story in WoD is incredible, or was incredible. Of course, my second request would also be to get some sort of cloak-like feature. I know it's going to be almost impossible to balance it, but I do like to have some sort of infinitely scaling stat stick or something that is visually changing the stronger I get. Some sort of system like that is just really nice for an MMO. It really makes me feel like a hero. I know we all hate borrowed power, but I do think that they can make it work because generally speaking, World of Warcraft has been much better in the last couple of years. So those are my 2 big wishes. I also think obviously consumables should be, changed in modern World of Warcraft, but maybe people will get pissed because there's a lot of people that are, doing a lot of gold manipulation and in farming in WoW right now, so they care about consumables being a thing. But that's just me. I like pulling the boss. I don't really like waiting in front of the boss and eating, drinking, rezzing. I like, to play the game instead of to prepare to play the game. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content. I'm uploading 1 or 2 videos every single week. Also, I do stream on twitch.tv/Yeti if you want to watch some Hunter gameplay, whether it's raiding or Mythic Plus, or, right now playing Remix as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys around later.